Hi, I'm Shiki.
Hi, I'm Lin Fei.
Hello, I'm Xiaotong Li.
We're the team 4 and we're doing the Cigna case study. As we all know, Affordable Care Act is repealed after Trump's presidency, so we decided to go this case study a little bit different. Firstly, we will look at the healthcare industry. There are three parties: provider, customers, and insurance companies. When consumers enroll in policies, they get benefit, but they do not pay for the benefit. So policyholders enjoy benefits whenever they need to, and doctors charge the services whatever they want to. As a result, volatility on healthcare charges occur. In fact, with current reimbursement strategy, U.S. national spending on healthcare is about 18% of total spending on GDP and is projected to continue to grow faster than the economy. Standing from insurance companies' point of view, we need to develop a platform for Cigna in how to manage volatility of providers' charge, control costs effectively, as well as develop reinsurance. We'd like to introduce an alternative strategy which insurance company pay a fixed amount to providers. We call it basic cost rule. For doing this, we need to set up two benchmarks. First benchmark, or flat amount, is for providers. Company would pay a provider below this flat amount, that is our basic cost. For payment above this basic cost is excess cost. There's another benchmark for reinsurance program called excess cost cap. Company would pay payment amount between flat amount and cost cap. But once a claim is above cost cap, reinsurance company would play a role. As for our data analysis, we would focus on what percentage of total claim would be covered by reinsurance claim.
The data is directly from the official U.S. government site for Medicare. It describes the average spending levels during hospitals' Medicare spending per beneficiary episodes. An MSPB episode includes all Medicare Part A and Part B claims paid during the period from 3 days to hospital admission through 30 days after discharge. The data presented on the hospital compare web page provide the price standardized non-risk adjusted volume for two parts. First, the public can evaluate service costs based on the no-risk adjusted amounts and determine next step. Second, risk-adjusted adjustment is depend on the episode level rather than at the service category or claim level. We select the column of period, which has little influence on the amount of average spending. Compared to the spending for state, the spending for hospital is not stable. And for nation, it is too large for us to focus on factors which will make the influence not as evident as it does for state. So we only collect the average spending for hospital.
In the model construction process, we will first use a graph to compare state average and hospital average. As we could see in the examples here, state data is relatively stable compared to the per hospital data. And the stability means eliminating outliers, which yields a better flat amount. The flat amount, as we have discussed, is the basis point. Once we have determined what kind of data we will use to set up the basis, we will have a clearer picture to see how the attachment point is constructed. In the current state of our modern building, we are planning to use a one-sample t-test to construct the confidence interval. Yet, a potential drawback we are striving to improve is whether the mean is the best basis point. In reality, medical level might be vary from state to state. Some states will have specialty in doing certain surgery, like heart surgery, which might be very costly. So we will use the weighted average mean to get out of a model better fit the situation. Insurance company will also collect 10% of the flat amount as a profit. We expect this will create a consumer-directed health insurance industry. Since once consumers know they will pay high premium for high claims, they will have incentives to compare costs across different hospitals. As results, solve a fundamental problem in the industry high cost. If you have any question, please contact us. Thank you for watching.
Hi, we are the Four Risketeers. I'm Cassandra Johnson.
I'm Jen Ness.
I'm John Dean.
I'm Ted Kiltonic, and the following presentation will be on untapped potential in renters insurance.
Throughout this presentation, we will discuss the problem we were given. We will then analyze our approach to the problem through various market trends, after which we will discuss our revenue potential through various market strategies. Next, Jen will talk about our company, Husky P&C.
We are a team of actuaries at the theoretical Husky P&C Insurance Company. We have been tasked with developing a 5-year business strategy for the New England region. As a property and casualty company, we have 4 separate lines of business, which include commercial auto, general liability, workers' compensation, and property. For the purposes of our project, we focused on property insurance and, more closely, renter's insurance.
In analyzing the market, we noticed that renters have consistently been on the rise. As you can see to the graph to my side here, it has been most notable among millennials. There are several reasons that this might be, and several of which stem from the increasing debt among millennials who elect to pursue a secondary education. As compared to previous generations, the value of the degree is not nearly as proportional as it is in the current market. So our current generation of millennials now has less purchasing power and less ability to delve into home ownership in the future. As a result, we have decided to specifically look further into renters insurance and how we might further capitalize on this potential market. Next up, John will overview a quick background on renters insurance itself.
Renter's insurance does not cover the property itself, but covers the belongings of the renter. This is especially appealing because the insurance policy will cover your belongings even as you venture beyond your residence. This means that your smartphone, laptops, and other possessions will be covered wherever you go. This, we feel, is especially marketable to today's generation of young adults who might look to renter's insurance as a substitute form for their smartphone or laptop insurance.
When looking into renters insurance, we first compared different companies across the market in order to get a general idea about how these different providers price their renters insurance product. Doing so, we obtained quotes from each company with a similar level of deductible, coverage, and other liability coverages. The lowest common deductible through these companies was $500, and we set the liability coverage to $100,000. The resulting chart to my side is the monthly cost of these premiums per provider. What we've come to determine is that a significantly lower deductible would be far more applicable and alluring to its users. Although this comes with a larger premium, we argue that the average consumer would be more than willing to pay the cost of a daily cup of coffee for this increase in protection. Additionally, we propose offering a rebate after completion of a claims-free year. We hope that this would reduce the likelihood of moral hazard.
Only 37% of current renters have renter's insurance, leaving a large portion of the market without it. If Husky P&C were to capitalize on all of these consumers in the New England area, we could increase our revenue by $177.9 million. This revenue is not a significant amount for the company, but our relationships with our customers will prove to be more beneficial and bring in more revenue through our other lines of business, especially with homeowners insurance as renters transition from renting to homeownership.
Our main marketing strategy will be to target college students, since the majority will be looking to rent as opposed to buy after graduating. We will work on college campuses and promote our product during sports games, as well as having a few campus reps promoting renters insurance. We will also work to increase the general awareness of renters insurance and showcase the many benefits of our specific product at Husky P&C.
In summary, we noted the upward trend in number of renters, especially amongst young adults, due to the rising amount of college debt and less opportunity in the job market. We look to target this group, offering a new renters product that would be very much to their satisfaction, with features like a lower deductible and a rebate offered for claim-free years. It is our anticipation that these renters will one day become homeowners and auto owners, and through their satisfaction with Husky P&C, will look to stick with our company. This, we believe, is an extremely appealing opportunity for Husky P&C to grow its profit margin over the next 5 to 10 years. We look to accomplish targeting this group by increasing advertising specifically for renters insurance to college students and young adults. We are the 4 Riskateers. Thank you for watching.
Capturing the middle market is the next great challenge for insurance companies to overcome. Cohen Research reported an $11 trillion coverage gap for all households, of which 45.6% is held by the middle market. Divide that by the estimated 51 million middle market households, and you have an average of $100,000 that could be insured. raking $11 billion of premiums per year. Why aren't insurance companies able to efficiently tap into the middle market? Some conflicts that we have discovered are that some of the middle market underappreciate the value of insurance. Others believe that insurance costs much more than it really does. Many think that they will make and be locked into the wrong choice. And middle market consumers are willing, but not appropriately presented with the opportunity to purchase insurance. The multifaceted solution that we have created is Club Flex. This tiered insurance club consists of 3 levels: bronze, silver, and gold. The focus is to cater to a new generation of tech-savvy consumers by providing flexibility and personalization to a simple insurance package. Initially, we want to attract consumers with low rates and malleable policies that they will have control over. As a member matures, we will provide them with the resources necessary to properly care for their dependents. At the same time, they will ascend the ranks of the club and be awarded with benefits. To aid in the integration of the middle market into our club, we will create a mobile app that allows anyone to discover how insurance can provide for them. This app will allow a quick glance at their risk, show how affordable protection could be, and allow them to easily adjust their coverage and benefits. And finally, according to Epsilon Research, a promising location to promote insurance products are consumers' workplaces, where we will provide incentives for employers to recruit their employees. Once convinced of our close practices, our members will receive similar benefits for recruiting their family and friends. This approach will guarantee that prospective customers become long-term members. Thank you for watching.
Hi, I'm Matt Edson.
I'm Julie Hu.
I'm Megan Schwab.
And I'm Rebecca Wong, and we are Prudential's Case Study Group. Today we will be talking to you about the future of predictive analytics in the life insurance industry. In order to work through and complete Prudential's task, we started asking ourselves many different questions. We narrowed down those questions to: what types of non-traditional data can we examine that is new and innovative, and how do we apply this data using predictive analytics? So in order to answer a question, we needed to understand how life insurance is currently priced. We did some research and concluded that there are 2 main assumptions made. Lapse and mortality directly affect the price of a policy. Insurance is currently priced by making assumptions that are derived through historic trends and vary from person to person upon limited variables such as gender and age. So then we asked ourselves the question, what's new? Technology is constantly changing and advancements are always being made. Our new era has a lot more available data on individuals called big data. Our main goal became, how can we use big data through predictive analytics to derive more accurate lapse and mortality rates and risk classify individuals? The main driver of our project quickly became the question, what is the most critical factor in a person's life? We deducted that that is a person's health and have divided an individual's overall health into these 3 categories, where financial health affects lapse and physical and mental health affect mortality. First, Matt will talk about financial health.
Our research has concluded that an individual's financial health is a big driver of lapse rates. It is noted that one of the biggest drivers of lapsing a policy is a person's financial instability. So the use of credit scores, for example, can help life insurance companies get a better estimate on how likely a particular policyholder will lapse. A better understanding of this will help our bottom line goal of trying to price policies more accurately and more competitively. Next, we will talk about factors that affect mortality rates, which we have split up into 2 categories, physical and mental health.
There are many different variables that affect physical health, such as eating and exercise habits. However, we decided to look at a different approach and look at one's health consciousness. Health consciousness is defined as how much an individual actually knows about a healthy living style. It's our belief that there's a direct correlation between what is actually known and what aspects of an individual's lifestyle is considered healthy. Our research is centered around Health IQ, a small startup life insurance company that has successfully quantified health consciousness and used this data in their pricing tools. Therefore, if we're able to somehow quantify health consciousness, whether it's through Health IQ or a different method, we're able to more accurately identify an individual's mortality rates and therefore have better pricing products. Next, we'll have Megan talk about our final aspect of health, mental health.
We have noticed that in the underwriting process of life insurance, mental health is overlooked. Since humans are naturally social beings, how well we interact with social groups can drastically affect one's overall health.
The biobehavioral model shows how important a healthy family relationship is. As you can see, things like proximity and the quality of one's relationship directly relates to how attached one feels, and therefore relates to biobehavioral reactivity, which is how often someone regulates their emotions throughout the day, which then relates to disease activity. There's a lot of research done that proves the importance of being mentally healthy, especially in children with asthma. In situations where family bonds aren't as strong and the child has asthma, the disease is worse than in situations where the child has asthma and they have strong bonds, because the child is less anxious and less stressed. Having a strong social bond directly correlates to a healthier life experience, because you're less anxious and less stressed, therefore decreasing an individual's overall mortality rate. By quantifying mental health through social behavior, predictive analytics can help create correlations that ultimately better estimate an individual's mortality rate.
In conclusion, we can use these 3 factors to model lapse and mortality rates. These factors seem to directly affect these 2 variables. By using data collected by individual policyholders, we can start to see trends in the data that show the importance of each factor. By combining all these variables into a uniform model, we can individualize mortality rates and better risk classify our products. Thank you for listening, and if you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact us.
Hi, I'm Jenny. Our project is about fixed index annuity, and we concentrate on comparison between fixed index annuity and variable annuity with living benefits. And our whole purpose is to find out from insurance company point of view if fixed index annuity is more profitable and is fixed index annuity less risky. But first of all, how does fixed index annuity work? For example, next year the S&P 500 will grow 10%. So I need to multiply 10% by 0.8 of the participant rate, and I get 8%. And then I need to compare 8% to the performance cap. That is the highest credit return that can be credited to the contract. So the lower of the two will be 5%. But last, I need to compare the 5% to a guaranteed minimum return, 4%. So I get the 5% for the final. That is the credit return for the contract. Let's see if the S&P 500 is bad for the next year. So 2.8 after participation rate, and I got 4% of the guaranteed minimum for the final. What we did is that, first of all, we assume some factors like age, accumulation period, net single premium will all be the same for both of the annuities, and they both have the guaranteed income benefit for life. A difference is that the guaranteed minimum return will be 0.4 for fixed index annuity, 0.03 for variable annuity, and some of the specifications like participant rate and caps for fixed index annuity, but not for variable annuity. And we first of all need to predict the S&P 500 index for the next 10 years. Let's see some historical data for the past 10 years. It looks like it grows like smoothly, except for like around 2003 and 2008 and 2009. It makes sense. So we use the mean and standard deviation of the historical data to predict the S&P 500 index for the next 10 years. Here are some outlines about 10 scenarios of the index move trend. Some of them grows very good, but some of them are very bad. So we took the average of them to calculate the income value and the contract value for both of the annuities. For fixed index annuities, the yellow line will be account value, and the white line will be contract value. Account value is like the real money that is accumulated by S&P 500 of the single net premium at time 0. And contract value is like a hypothetical value that insurance company promised to policyholder about this contract. So it's accumulated according to S&P 500, but under certain conditions like participation rates, guarantee minimum, and interest rate cap. So as we can see, the contract value will be like a little lower than the account value. So the gap here is the gain that insurance company can make during the within the accumulation period of these fixed index annuity products. But for variable annuity, as we can see the white line here, contract value is higher than the account value here. That means that what we promised our policyholder about the contract is higher than the account value. So at the time, by the end of the accumulation value, when we need to pay our customer policyholder what they ought to be, that is like, so there would be a negative cash flow. That means it's more risk, much riskier than the fixed index annuity. That's what we want to do. So lastly, what we gonna include it in our report is sensitivity test to see what's gonna happen if the market is really bad or the market is like better than we predicted. And we also want to include some expenses, commissions, so that we can get the result more related to the reality. We also want to include some surrender policy so that it could be like more realistic. That would be all. Thank you.